got some errands to run. Maybe you can see the little bit of the country here behind me as I drive. You can see out my window. Overcast. Temperature's very comfortable, probably 70, close to it. I've been looking into AI this morning. Now, when I say AI, I'm intending to use it for publicity and for the administrative things. I do not use it to write. I'll be very clear on that. I find that contemptible. The whole purpose of writing, in my point of view, is to practice your art. AI to generate some kind of fiction or some would-be novel, some faux novel, is the worst form of being a hack. If you don't know what a hack is, that's someone that does it just for the money. And it has no originality, there's no art, it is contemptible, in my view. And when I had my website, when I had my magazines, I spelled it out in the submission guidelines. Anything that I found to be AI generated or heard that it was AI generated, not only would it be turned down, but that author would be accepted there in either Rural Fishing Magazine or the Chamber ever again. We don't do AI for writing fiction. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, that said, using it for administrative tasks, maybe for publicity, things like that don't require art. Well, not the art of writing fiction. You could argue, I suppose, that writing copyright borders on writing fiction. Also for making, possibly, I'm thinking of making videos. I have a YouTube channel or two. Just started another one called RFM Productions, and I'm thinking of getting into producing some of the meditative videos, the kinds with scenery and relaxing music. I found that could I could get public domain photos for that matter, and go to a website that generates music, and I could have it generated, so it would be, and I have to approve it, go through it, all that. It'd be my work in essence. A lot of people use public domain photos, but I heard today on one channel that YouTube frowns on that, and they frown on using things like public domain photos and maybe just public domain music, because that is not original. Understandably, they want all original material on their channels. Otherwise, you just have people copying after each other, copying again, and you have copies of copies of copies being published, and there's nothing original, and it all becomes a waste of time, and nobody watches the YouTube anymore. So they have to have original material, just like television has to have original material. So does radio, and any other kind of medium. So the challenge here is to be able to produce something that is relatively easy to produce, that is original. Now, I'm no composer, and I can't compose symphonies or anything like that. I can't compose songs. I can barely remember some songs. I can't even read music. But there are websites or places you can go to use AI to generate photos. Now, that would be original if you come up with a design that you like and and it's your original, it's not copied, you're not taking it from anybody else. Then you could have, that would be original. If you develop your own music track, whether you compose it like Leonard Bernstein did, or like Shostakovich or Beethoven, that's great. I don't have that skill set. But I can develop my own music using AI. Go through, compose something, keep modulating it, changing it, until it becomes something that I can use. So, and likewise with the photos or the scenery, could get public domain photos and just alter them a little bit. You could call it the original, but that's really cheating. It's like cribbing somebody else's test. You get most of the answers from them. However, you can use AI to generate your own photos. And then you can take that, alter it in Photoshop or Canva or whatever other program you use. And then you can use your original background, your original music, and put up a video that could be classified as, or would be original. It'd be easy to do. There's places you can go where you can do this en masse. I think it'd be better to do it one at a time, though. Particularly for someone like me that's I like to be hands-on. I'd like to maybe say develop a photo, say AI, generate for me a spooky landscape with a castle on a mountaintop in the background, and valleys filled with mist and lots of dead trees and a dirt road running through it. Maybe a carriage drawn by 4 horses going off in the distance. And have AI generate that. Then you look at it and you redo the commands, because I'm finding out, first off, that's a lot of the work of AI. You can tell it to generate a photo for you or song or whatever. However, the problem is it's not going to generate exactly what's in your mind, and you will probably have to alter it. You may have to alter it numerous times. I was experimenting with this the other day, trying to develop a small 1-minute video, and I would tell AI, in this scene of an alleyway, I would like 3 people dressed as vampires. Well, AI generated 3 people in long coats up in the distance, in the mist, but that's all you could tell of them. There wasn't anything to distinguish them as vampires. I was thinking something like you would see in the goth world. People dressed in lace, overcoats, so forth. So I had AI regenerate the photo, and I said, generate vampires as if they were in Victorian London. And he had the same 3 figures, long coats, but this time they had top hats. So that wasn't good enough. So you can see the process here is it's a continual process of trying to find the right commands. And then when you do generate it, a good photo, you had to check it for accuracy because you might find glitches. I used AI toward the end of that time working in the chamber. I started to use AI for photos then, for the illustrations. It came out with some very good illustrations. But there were problems that you had to have a sharp eye for. You have to edit the photos sharply, closely, meticulously. Because like one, I wanted to have an illustration for Edgar Allan Poe's story. Wait a second, I got the name. Tongue killing my tongue. I know it by heart. The Telltale Heart. That's it. The Telltale Heart. And so in one scene, the narrator comes through the door into his uncle's studio, into his uncle's bedroom, and he's holding a lantern. Excuse me. Little medical thing. Anyway, pardon me for that. Anyway, so I said, generate a photo of a man, 19th century, coming through a door slowly. He's barely got it open, and he's holding a lantern over his head. So when I finally got the photo, it was great. It was a great photo. It had a man dressed at early 19th century. He was holding he was peeping in through a door, a wooden door, and looked like you could tell from the surroundings it was Victorian era room. Had the lantern above his head. He was holding the lantern like so, with his hand there. And the problem was that while he was holding the lantern up like that, and he was leaning his body through the door, there was no arm connecting the body to the hand, and the hand was just floating in space, and he had no arm there. Anyway, that's my spiel for today. I'm coming into Dumas, so I will talk to you later. Now this is November 7th, 2:46 p.m.